here. Is this thing on? Good morning. Good morning. What's happening? Welcome to the show this morning. So glad to be here. When I tell y'all, my driveway is a ice skating rink. Tried to get up that hill. Oh my God, man. I left the house 13 minutes before the show was supposed to start.
Lord have mercy.
I just want to say, I thank the city of Milwaukee for all the lights being timed at the perfect moment. I didn't get caught by a light. I want to thank all the elderly people for getting out of my way. All the parents getting your children safely to the side so I could come through. And I want to thank the MPD for not being nowhere around.
Right.
As usual.
Thank you.
That one there you can just count on.
I just want to say thank you. I was sweating bullets. So I was like, ooh. And then I put my purse in the back and couldn't remember how to activate my cell phone from my speaker in my truck because I had been driving Keisha's car so long. I was like, I
don't even remember this.
I didn't remember this truck. So, good morning, family. What's happening, Mr. Rideout? Y'all made it here safely.
Yeah.
Why was I the only one struggling this morning?
Well,
how does that work out? No, you don't know. You
no
no answer.
Well, you might want to start with Debo because
He's still getting his black history.
no, I already got it ready. I got it ready
together.
Already.
And I want you to know that there are people that are completely appalled by you and your Black History
Wait till you hear this one.
They are completely and totally appalled.
Well,
But go
wait.
ahead.
Well,
What you got?
since we
No, I was going to Debo.
Oh, go ahead,
Go to
Debo.
Well, no, I am just certainly
Here you go.
elated to
There
be here
you
this
go.
morning.
Elated.
Another day that God have made.
Why you say it like God? Why you say it like that?
Does he get deep and indignant?
You know, not indignant.
Just-
Indignant.
Why you say it like
certainly,
that? Like it's like he's about to.
What? How many?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I felt it like really a lot of work bringing that up.
Well, no.
What's going on?
Just glad to be here, man. I mean, you know, every morning that I wake up is a blessing. You know, somebody didn't this morning, so in that, I'm good. I'm grateful.
Okay. Jay, what's up, man?
Well, since you asked,
Did you have to holler that part?
yeah,
He
Doc,
did because he country.
this moment in Black history,
Did you have music? What the?
This dude.
the moment in Black history.
Did you?
Willie James Jr. was the first black man to leave a curl stain on your couch. Willie James, we want to thank you on this morning
You did not
for that curl stain you left
glow.
on the couch.
Oh, I'm so mad.
So
at
glow,
you.
silky, sexy, and smooth. This was brought to you by NJ Liquor. Know your history.
Yo.
Know your history.
No, you did not.
Willie James Jr., you are a true pioneer.
Sing it again, Jermaine.
Know your history. Willie James Jr., it's because of you. This curl stains on a whole bunch of white couches.
Hey,
Because of you, Willie James Jr.,
oh, your couch.
S curl picked up on the market. So you got to just let your soul glow.
Something wrong with y'all.
Oh my God, I'm so mad.
Willie James
I am-
Jr., thank you for your
so mad at you, Jermaine.
Black History moment.
Somebody said, nah, that was brought to us by who? Wait, brought to us by Coming to America. I am so mad at you. Good morning, Alex. How you doing this morning? Hey, Shelby. I'm through with you. I'm not doing this with you no more.
Know your history.
It is scandalous.
Oh man,
It is absolutely scandalous.
silky, sexy, and smooth. Just let your soul glow.
I just let your soul glow. People, and now people singing it at home.
Willie James Jr. See what you just started, Willie. Oh, Willie.
Good morning. People singing it in the car on the way to work, and then you gotta do that.
Yeah, Doc, you gotta feel that
You
thing.
gotta-
Put your head back on the couch so you can leave that stain and then let it.
Somebody said Eddie Murphy is in the building, and it's an Eddie Murphy here in Milwaukee. It's a brother by the name of Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
yeah, that actually went to Alcorn.
Denise Crumble.
Yeah.
She said, "Good morning, Black Milwaukee. Let your soul glow."
That's it. Silky smooth.
Okay, should we get T-shirts?
That's
You
it.
know, I love it. I love proposing T-shirts. Should we get T-shirts?
We can't do
In the
T-shirts
midst
for
of-
everything.
Yeah, we should. In the midst of all the crazy that's going on, we should get T-shirts.
Yeah,
Black folks,
I'm with
let your soul glow.
I'm with it.
That should be our new rallying cry.
Wow.
Like, I'm just saying, I like it. White folks won't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, they won't know.
It'll be a code, and it's the rally call. Just like when dude threw that white hat up in the air.
No, the once you throw that hat up,
You threw
it's
that hat
almost
up in
like
the
that
air.
Batman single.
Are you talking about on the boat?
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
boat dock with
That
the-
was Alabama.
It was
You
like
know
so
what
that
that
hat
meant?
up.
You know what that meant?
yeah,
It's
it's
on.
on.
It's on.
Listen,
It's on.
man,
Come on,
you
we
ever
about
saw
to- we about to
Batman
do
when they
this.
shine that in the sky and they shine the symbol in the sky and
So-
everybody come together?
Everybody
They're
had
like
them
Thundercats.
because it's the one thing. And then people talk about this in different little circles and cliques all the time, where somebody says singing this song, right? Oh, so okay, y'all gonna just keep it going, singing the song and eating some cream of wheat. Y'all
There
gonna
you
keep
go.
it
See?
going?
See?
I'm sick of y'all.
Yeah.
I am sick of. We got the most petty listeners. they so
Yeah.
petty. Not all of y'all, but some of y'all is so petty. Y'all keep mess going. And then be the first one at church somehow. Ain't God good all the time. And then be just petty, just keeping mess going, singing the song and eating cream of wheat. I'm not. I'm ignoring your whole moment. I shouldn't even read it out loud. But yeah, we was talking about that, how it was a comedian even did a bit about it where he said they was on a plane and everything it looked like some terrorism was about to jump off. And it was only two brothers on the plane. And everybody else was, white or whatever color. And he said the two brothers looked at each other like, like gave each other that look like, oh, you
ready?
know what
ready?
time it is.
You see this? And so then they said, white person saw the brothers giving each other the eye. And they was like, oh, they're about to do something. They're going to save us. And the brothers was like, no, we not.
We saving ourselves.
We about to save ourselves because they ain't about to come for us. They coming for y'all.
They going right past us.
Yeah, ain't nobody paying no ransom for us. So we good. We good.
You got some nosy viewers too, because somebody want to know right out, is that orange juice from McDonald's?
Oh, protest. You sell
This
out.
is a McDonald's cup.
You sell out.
This is a cup I had in the car.
It look old.
See, the cup I had in the car. I went across the
You
street.
had it before
I went across the street to the station.
and bought some more shit.
Put it in a cup.
Is that what-
Okay, I'm caught. Yeah, I stopped
So
at
you a
McDonald's.
sellout.
Oh, no, what?
You up
I
in
wanna
need
here
know how they
some
cooning.
saw-
juice, man.
I want to
You
know how
up
they
in
saw
here
the cup.
cooning. You sell it out. That's what you
How
Man,
do.
I
did
guess
they-
I'm getting my Sambo on.
Time coonery is going
Oh,
on.
man.
How did they see the cup?
Because you put me on camera drinking from it.
No, I don't know how.
Yeah,
that
I
happened.
saw it over here.
You know he messy.
Yeah,
Like
you know
you probably
Jimbo.
zoomed right in,
Yeah.
like, and he typed in the chat.
Well,
Didn't-
actually,
didn't Mano say?
this ain't
we was
McDonald's.
boycotting McDonald's.
This is McDonald's.
Oh, it is.
McDowell's.
It's McDowell's.
Is it really?
Let your soul glow.
Is it really?
Silky smooth.
It's so sad.
McDowell's.
It's so sad. Hey, Solis, good morning. It's so sad. I feel I'm not. There are days I'm just not confident about our future as a people. Not because of anything that I do.
Oh, man.
I just want to remind you. Oh my God, I was watching one of the shows because I was looking for something for a listener, and I had to go back and review one of the shows, and I don't know what was he talking about, but man, I was so awful because y'all was like, oh no, we do that. I was like, oh no. I am too good for that.
Wow.
I don't know what it was. I felt bad watching myself. I was like, I said, you need to
You
cut.
too, I tell you.
I said, my snobbery was coming all through like, really?
No, we don't do that.
I was like, well, hey, I'm excited for y'all because that will never happen at my house. It was bad. I felt bad.
Damn.
All right. So where do I start? I got a list of things that I wanted to talk about. Wrote it on the back of my trusty envelope. First, let me just say, I knew that the people stealing from the professional athletes was not black.
Oh yeah, couldn't have been.
They caught at least a portion of the ring of folks that were stealing from the athletes.
Oh, the break-ins?
Yeah.
Oh no, he died. Irv Gotti.
Yeah, he died yesterday. Had a stroke.
Yeah, I knew he had a stroke, and
He
they
had
said he was
another
on life support. Man, okay, that's a whole nother conversation I will have.
Yeah, so sad.
It's crazy. I can thank my my husband for being up on Irv Gotti. Learned so much stuff I shouldn't have learned, but anyway,
Yeah.
messing with this dude. Messing with this dude. But yeah.
Which husband was that?
See how
There
folks
you
like
go.
see how
I just asked the question. I know you
It wasn't
had
necessary.
3 or 4 or something
wa-
like that.
three-
So I was
Three or
just trying to see
You know what?
There you
number
go.
Well, all
is.
that means then is that it's a whole bunch of people that have loved me
This
since
is
you're
true.
trying to come for
There's
me.
a lot of
And
people that
clearly
still
only
love
one
you.
person has loved you. So
And I
come on, Jermaine.
will always love you.
Only one person
Only one.
has loved Diva.
Was always
This is
Multiple, many have loved me. So I'm just saying, it's all in how you
is
look
that
at it,
good?
bruh.
Is that
It's all
good?
in how you look at it.
Right? That's
I'm
exactly
just
what I was
saying,
saying.
half
you know?
empty, half full.
Yeah.
People love me. Good morning, Adeline. Nope, I didn't get a chance to read it. I will do that. All right, so they have caught some of the folks connected to the break-ins in these athletes' homes. And I remember telling somebody that those are not black people doing that, because somebody said, you think they black? I was like, no, they ain't black. And it's like, why you say that, Michelle? I said, because look at these houses and the areas that these houses were in. While yes, there are some black athletes that live in the houses, but if too many black people was riding around in these neighborhoods, the police would have been called.
Oh, yes, pulled up.
They would have been suspects
Yeah.
out the gate.
Yeah.
I said, they got to be white or they got to be SAs. And they was like, what?
Yeah.
I said, because they not going to raise suspicion.
Yeah.
If you white,
Because
you
the
over
SA could
there-
be like the gardener or something.
I hate to be stereotypical,
Groundskeeper.
but that's what those people would think. They
Right,
would not
right.
flinch if they saw Mexicans working in the area or moving around in the area,
Mhm.
or if they saw whites moving around in the area. And so then when they show the pictures of the folks who get caught, I'm like, told you, knew it.
And they 4 deep riding in the car.
Yeah. I mean, but I just don't understand like the foolishness of you taking pictures of the stuff you stealing. They all posted up in Gucci hats and chains, and then they targeting these players while they were at away games. And I'm like, when you go to a away game, everybody in your house leave. And then, but some of them were married, so maybe there was no family there. But either way, and I'm like, what kind of security systems y'all got? But see, that's one thing though, because people move to good neighborhoods and get comfortable.
Yeah.
Doors get unlocked.
Yeah.
I know we were somewhere, and one of my friends lives in a really nice neighborhood, and we got ready to do something, and they leave the keys in the car. I was like, what kind of oh, ain't nobody gonna bother your stuff out here. I said, see, don't get out here and start acting no fool.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody's gonna bother your stuff. Really? Don't nobody. Okay.
See, but those people in those areas are the areas that people are targeting because they know that people think like that.
Yeah.
So they know that it's going to be an easy break-in with cars and stuff. So they go out there and they do that.
But I'm just going to tell people, don't sleep on other people's kids.
Yeah,
I don't care what they got.
Yeah.
People do silly stuff. So in any case, we saw that, now maybe some of these players can rest easy, particularly those that are on their way to the Super Bowl. Is that this Sunday?
Yeah.
So
Michelle, is this the same ring that broke into Bobby Portis'
Yep.
house?
Same
people?
thing. Same.
And they was from like El Salvador. Or
Yeah,
something like
it's
that,
an
wasn't
international ring.
Really?
It's international. Yeah.
it? Wow.
Let me see real quick because
I'm just figuring how did they get access to these people addresses?
I mean, it's probably not hard to do. And then God forbid, you got access to financial information,
Right.
data that you can pretty much source out and figure out where people are.
That's
Um,
crazy.
hang on, let me see real quick. All right, so just to round out the story, the FBI and the New York police raided a business in New York City's Diamond District. This happened on Tuesday.
Hmm.
They said they worked with a South American transnational theft group that had been targeting homes belonging to wealthy people across the country. Investigators said they were looking into whether any of the people involved in recent burglaries of numerous star athletes' homes are connected to the alleged fencing location. So they were arrested near 47th Street, near 6th Avenue. Dozens of FBI agents, NYPD major case detectives searched the second floor business. People were taken into custody. They identified some of the defendants, and they basically were saying that they were connected to the break-in at the home of Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow, linked to others. And then they talked about all the stuff that they found, how much money, these people had. So but they said they are part of a much larger crew, targeting high-profile athletes. And they showed the LSU t-shirt on TV. I saw that in the news story. So there were things that were easily identifiable that belonged to some of these players that they had stolen. But the thing is how far and vast is the reach of this group that was doing this stealing? Because these is just your front people on the ground here in the US. Where else are you? So again, you read it and you go, yes, 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 yes. Knew that they were not going to be. Somebody somebody said people in wealthy neighborhoods need to watch out. Remember, the Menendez brothers were breaking into houses before they killed their parents, and these are kids with means. So I just, like I said, it just cracks me up that people, particularly black folks, move into a white suburban community, and then all of a sudden you start getting chill. Oh, nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, okay. No, nobody's gonna do anything. All right, so I gotta take a break, but when we come back, today is the day. Today is the day that federal employees in specific agencies had been given a deadline by which they needed to either take a buyout and willingly resign, positions that in some cases these people are career federal employees who I'm sure had planned to retire from the federal government, some who may even be near retirement, that they had to make up their mind. You are either going to take severance pay through September and then go on about your business and this buyout, or you risk staying and being terminated with no buyout, with no severance, just with whatever vacation time you have remaining, whatever your last paycheck due is, and you got to go. So far, 40,000 federal employees have agreed to take the buyout. 40,000. 40,000 federal workers have already signed and submitted the paperwork to never return to federal service. Can you imagine what the work was that 40,000 federal workers were doing, which has all been on hold since Trump has been in office? And now there will be no one in those jobs because the way the government is set up, I can't pay you while you on leave and hire somebody else to come in and do whatever it is you were doing. That 8 months is going to have to expire, or that September payout period. We'll talk about it on the other side. But just let that sit for a minute. And we've only just begun. 40,000 people don't have a job today because Donald Trump got elected to office. 40,000 American citizens don't have a job. I'll be right back.
The passing of a loved one is emotional enough without adding the stress of funeral arrangements. By pre-planning, you receive the desires of your heart while taking away the burden from your family. It also saves you money, providing the dignity and respect your memory deserves. And there are times when life ends unexpectedly. Please know that the New Pitts Mortuary is here to lend a helping, caring hand anytime, day or night. We are the New Pitts.
Now, back to Say Something Real with your host, Michelle Bryant on WNOV.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. So before I went to the break, I talked about the fact that we have reached the deadline. Today was the day that Donald Trump and Elon Musk sent emails to federal workers in some divisions and agencies telling them that we have reached a fork in the road. People that know Elon Musk has said that his fingerprints were all over this because that is what he did when he took over Twitter, and he was going to be laying off massive numbers of employees. His byline or subject line in the, not byline, but subject line in the email basically said the same thing. And so they have gone in and told folks that they needed to make a decision about whether or not they would take basically a form of a buyout. And it's not really a buyout, but just simply saying we will pay you through September, and then you go away. And they made this offer to more than 2 million civilian employees of the federal government. Employees of the National Security Agency and the Central Intelligence Agency have also been now included in this push to push 2 million people out of federal service. And the Office of Personnel Management, which the crazy thing is, when the folks that are working at the Office of Personnel Management, there's been a lot of conversation because one of those people is 18 years old, just graduated from high school, and is a part of the team that is purging people from the federal government. And I'm trying to go back and figure out, let me see if it was on Twitter. Yes. I just saw a post in which it says, breaking news, Congresswoman Gwen Moore and Judy Chu just walked right up to Speaker Johnson's office and demanded answers to why Elon Musk and his teenage cronies are looking at confidential American taxpayer information. This is the type of resistance we need. It just literally popped up while I was sitting here on my feed on Twitter. So, of the 2 million, many of whom had the February 6th deadline, 40,000 people, which is about 2% of the federal workers eligible for the offer, have agreed to resign. Did you hear me? 40,000 people. Now the deadline is looming. So other folks are going to have to figure out today, by 5 p.m. today, what they're doing. So a lawsuit has been filed on behalf of these workers. There are unions that represent many of these federal workers. One union group, or one group, which was filed by the legal group Democracy Forward, on behalf of unions representing more than 800,000 civil servants, have filed a lawsuit. So a judge is considering a stay that would temporarily halt what Trump is trying to do. Now, this is a virtual hearing that's scheduled for 1 p.m. today, ahead of this 5 p.m. close of business deadline. So we will see what happens. This is U.S. District Judge George A. O'Toole Jr., a appointee of former President Clinton, and he is the one that will preside over this. But just think about, this man has, to some extent, the power to make a decision that at least can stave off folks being forced into this moment in which they have to make a decision. And before we went to the break, or while we were in the break, Jermaine said, Jermaine said, I wonder how many of those people actually voted for Trump. But I thought about something and I said, yeah, right. I think about that all the time. And I said, but the other thing I thought about was, I wonder how many of them people didn't vote at all.
That part is huge right there, because now you seeing the effect of you not voting.
Yeah. I wonder how many of those people didn't vote at all, or had family members that didn't vote at all. Because while 40,000 are being let go, that 40,000 now, Ronald Reagan and trickle down economics, this time trickle down economics is a real thing. Because if these people were the primary breadwinner, and a lot of times federal employees are married to each other, just working in different agencies. So you literally could be impacting the income in an entire household, not just one person's income, but both spouses' income.
But just imagine you working in the federal government for 20, 30, 40 years, or however long. Now you got to find something else to do. Like, you've been in government for a career and you was looking to retire. Now it's a totally whole different life for you.
Right. And depending on like how the pension system is structured, I know like at the state of Wisconsin, as long as you work there for 5 years, you can be vested into their pension system and be able to get, some type of retirement benefits. But this upends a lot of people. New hires have no protections. People who were hired within the last 2 years, that they have no protections. So, and the thing why I said trickle down is because it impacts their families, it impacts their children, elderly parents that they may be helping to take care of, things that they support, the faith institutions that they go to, who were used to getting that 10% of the tithes. 40,000 people will trickle down to potentially hundreds of thousands of people. If you figure out everywhere those dollars that those people generated impacted us on some line at some level. But to make the request, and they said, we don't believe that, of course, 2 million people will resign. But this is my question. Well, how many of them actually are you prepared to fire? Because that's what everybody who has been talking about this has been saying. Is like, well, I mean, come on. They didn't really believe that 2 million people would resign. They're just trying to trim the fat. They're just trying to scare some people out. But they have now said, should you choose not to resign, that we also will be looking at letting you go. So I wanted to mention that. And I got to go back because I meant to tie this in before I queued up the comment about this these 40,000 resignations. But I mentioned the NFL and the Super Bowl happening this weekend. Y'all know where I stand on the NFL. Y'all know I have not watched since Colin Kaepernick took a knee, and the foolishness with making Jay-Z, the I don't know what the hell, the white people whisper, the black people whisper, we gonna throw some money your way, let y'all shake it fast, drop it like it's hot, and to appease these black people, since we fired Colin Kaepernick, basically, and we all watched the horrible situation with George Floyd. So the Super Bowl has, been doing a lot. Well, the NFL has been doing a lot. Well, typically the Super Bowl falls in February, which is Black History Month. So out of respect for Black History Month, the NFL has had the Black National Anthem sung at these games. Lift every voice and sing. Well, now a number of white fans are demanding that the Super Bowl not allow the Black National Anthem to be performed ahead of the game. So fans have taken to social media. NFL fans are calling for a Super Bowl boycott after it was confirmed that the Black national anthem will be performed ahead of Sunday's game. And can you lift every voice and sing for me, and pull up the Kirk Franklin version, please? The Kansas City Chiefs go head to head with the Philadelphia Eagles in New Orleans this weekend. And just as everybody getting excited, and you going to one of the blackest black places, at least, way more black people before Katrina, but you in the heart of the hood for the Super Bowl. And they don't want Lift Every Voice and Sing sung during the pregame festivity. This is pregame festivities because Lettucey and John Baptiste are actually performing the national anthem. Okay. But they don't want the pregame. So we don't want you Negroes being featured in any way. Oh, and as a result of the George Floyd lynching, the NFL in the end zone had placed the wording "end racism." That is now being removed because Donald Trump will be at the game. And it's some mess like spread love or do love or some mess with love that's now going to replace the wording in the end zone. So, so I thought about this feels like our end of Reconstruction. That's what it feels like to me. Reconstruction, that period from 1865, add 12 years, that when Black people were allowed to run for public office and they actually, got elected to the Senate and Congress and all this different stuff, that period, when for a minute, some people understood slavery was wrong. We need to atone for that. And we need to give these people rights and freedoms and access in the way any other American citizen has it. And then some white folks got tired and said, nah, that's enough of that. And they invented the black codes. We need these niggas back on the plantation. And that's what we getting ready to do. And we're going to create laws, many which still impact us today, to put them in a situation where they are incarcerated, because via the vehicle of incarceration, we can legally force you into involuntary servitude, i.e. slavery. And we can lease you out to farmers, to plantations, and we still have a form of de facto slavery because you're still segregated, still can't go certain places, still have no rights in certain things, still can't vote. So we still got de facto slavery. So this is the thing. And this is my moment. This is not my moment for white people because they doing what I expect them to do. The ones that are racist. They doing what I expect them to do. So I'm not mad at the white people calling for the boycott. And trust me, it's some Donald, what's his name, from Florida, Byron Donald, and some Tim Scotts that's probably co-signing for removing Lift Every Voice and Sing from the pregame activities of the NFL. But you got all them black brothers running around on the fields in Black History Month. No other history month, Black History Month. But, they're going to find some bros that's going to stand out front with them and say, yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, there's no anthem that should be sung above the national anthem, but it's not being sung during the formal game. This is pre-game activities. This the side show. This the side piece. This ain't the main event. So I'm not mad at white people that's racist that are calling for a boycott. What I'm mad is at the black people who've never said a full-on boycott of the NFL. Boycott over discrimination in hiring for head coaches, boycott over payouts for Black athletes that suffer injuries and you want to pay them less or nothing in comparison to their white counterparts because your algorithm says Black men outside of running a football up and down the field, their life don't amount to much else. I'm mad at Black folks who said you can't treat this brother this way because he took a knee about an issue that's real in terms of, too many Black people dying at the hands of law enforcement, and they were not even armed. I'm mad that Black folks ain't mad that the national anthem includes the lyrics about keeping Black people enslaved. And we stand up. Some of us even sing the national anthem and get to running the hand over the heart and looking at the flag and just all emotional and I'm a patriot. And the damn song requests that you be kept in slavery. But we ain't boycotting that. We ain't making reference to the fact that you want the football players that's Black on the field to stand in attention and looking all, again, like my heart bleeds for America. But the very lyrics in the third stanza of the song requires that we go to our grave keeping the institution of slavery alive. But where is the Black people calling for the boycott of the freaking national anthem? And where are the Black people at these games who are willing to sit on their behind when everybody else stand and say, I'll be damned if I stand for a song that talks about keeping my ancestors enslaved and was written by somebody that believed in the institution of slavery? Where's that boycott? See how white folks always get what they want because they're willing to put action to words? Do you understand the difference? So when other people look at it and get hot with white folks, don't get hot with white folks. Get hot with your own folks. Because all they had to do was put Rihanna, Snoop, Beyonce, whoever on the halftime show, and the whole George Floyd moment goes away. We know they mistreating us, but this game just too damn good that I ain't making no money off of except for some little, bar bet. I ain't got nothing vested in it, but I just can't look away. They gonna sing the song that say keep Negroes enslaved. They gonna mistreat the players in a lot of regards financially. Yeah, they giving them some nickels to play on the field, but in terms of fairness and equity and employment and access and opportunity, the NFL stays on BS. And then this Black guy can lose his whole job because he's standing up for our community. And most of us just like, yeah, bro, didn't nobody ask you to do that? Appreciate it, though. Because I got to see this game. It's just too damn good. But white folks who put out the call for a boycott, when the Latinos say we doing a day without Latinos, a day without immigrants, people mean that stuff. When do Black folks get hot about something? When? Because Jamal Bryant put out his call for the boycott of Target. Ask me how many Black pastors in Milwaukee gonna stand up in their pews and tell people to support that boycott. Y'all call me and tell me if y'all pastor said anything about it. Go to church Sunday and all this month, because it don't start till March 5th. He said, I want to give Black businesses time, 30 days, to get your house in order so we can order from you online. It don't take all day to set up an online store. I got to take a break. Callers, you'll be first up if you can hang through the break. But I ain't mad at white folks. They doing what they do. I'm just asking when the hell we gonna do what we supposed to do. I'll be right back.
Now, back to Say Something Real with your host, Michelle Bryant on WNOV.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. I got callers that held through the break, so let me get them in right away. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you were talking about the buyouts.
Yep.
And many companies do the buyout thing. And these people are making a decision to take that buyout. Not only that, you got to realize now we supposed to be able to save $1 billion or so with this cutback, because like the brother that your producer said, these people been in there for 30 and 40 years. And Michelle, you understand what buyouts do. They cut the fat off, like you were just saying, and rehire. And plus, a lot of those people are working from home that don't want to go back to them old big buildings. They don't want to go back. Now, some people, so it's not as though they're being pushed out.
They are. They are.
Okay, well, tell me how when it's a buyout.
Because they were going to work every day until they received an email that says, we want you to leave. That's being pushed out, Meech. It's simple.
Let's get it right now. Most of them was working from home.
Again, whether they still were working. I said they went to work. That's what I said. They went to work in the morning and get an email at 7:00 at night saying you can no longer immediately access your email. Immediately. So whatever work you're working on right now, whatever citizen you are helping with the issue or concern, that just is immediately stopped.
Well, do you believe that we should get back to the office, or you think working at home is a great
thing? It doesn't make a difference to me as long as the work gets done. As long as the work gets done. What COVID did was demonstrate to a lot of people that there was not a necessity to get back to work. To work in a brick and mortar building, because one of the reasons why they want those people back to work in DC is because area businesses are suffering. Because ain't nobody buying coffee, but it's not the American taxpayers' responsibility to make sure that your coffee shops stay open. That Starbucks keeps selling $12 damn lattes. That's not the responsibility of the federal government.
But is that how our economy works, though? I mean, is that what keeps us rolling?
No, what is it called? It's called capitalism. See, people kill me. On one day, it's survival of the fittest. You either can or you can't cut it. On another day, let me figure out how I can help you stay in business. Didn't nobody want to figure out how to help the auto manufacturers stay in business, but I want to be able to help these shops around the DC area stay in business. Make up your mind which one it is.
Well, were you talking about when Obama stepped in and saved GM? But listen,
and save jobs. He didn't just save GM; he saved American jobs.
That's correct. Now, I don't want. I'm trying to be as smooth as I can, because you very abrupt. I
am, because I'm very upset.
Okay, and I understand that, but I'm trying to hold a dialogue for just one more second.
Go ahead.
Listen. So the buyout, we understand that it cuts the fat off. Like the brother says, people been in there 40 years. Do you understand how much money they're making when we can pay a young person that needs the experience, that should be in there?
That's ageism. That's discrimination. You have gotten to that point. Hold on. Because you have gotten to that point where you make substantial money because you done put in the time. So if I got 20, 30 years in, why wouldn't I be making that kind of money? I done paid my dues to make that kind of money.
Okay.
And I hope you understand this. And I hope you understand this, particularly when you talk about DC. A lot of those workers look like you and me, Meech.
Okay. Can I say this to you? Listen.
So while you sitting up here like trim the fat, you trimming a bunch of jobs that belong to black people.
But it's not like they finna be homeless and no money.
How come they not? You don't know nobody's personal financial situation.
They've made the choice to take that. Listen, I've seen buyouts at Briggs and Stratton. I've seen buyouts. Oh no.
How do you defend this? How do you defend this, man?
I'm telling you right now, you don't want to.
No, because you're saying because somebody is older and they are making the income that they rightfully deserve to make because they put in the years that, it's okay to move them around and then bring somebody in and pay them less money.
And listen to this here. It's not okay, but this is business. This is business. Now look, I've seen them buy out.
And you can do business in a way that is done fairly and correctly for the people who work for you. You don't have to be a slime ball in the way you do business.
Okay. I think it's just the person that implemented it is the reason why.
It's what's being done. This is not right under any way you describe it, to tell people that that day your email access gets cut off. Meech, the undertone of all of this is diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay, listen.
This ain't about business. This is about white racists who pissed off that anybody would do anything to try to level the playing field for people of color. This ain't got nothing to do with government efficiency.
The majority of those jobs, the 10% of those jobs that's going to be taken, that's going to be people taking the buyout, going to be white folks.
No, they not. No, they not. You don't know that.
Okay.
Prince George's County, which is the wealthiest county in the country where black people live, the majority of them people work for the U.S. federal government. They are regular folks. In a lot of cases, not all of them even have college degrees, but they make six figures because they have worked for the federal government for years.
Okay, listen. Okay, I've seen other buyouts like JIK and Racine. I've seen them offer buyouts.
This is not a buyout. But this is a force out. It is not a buyout.
Okay, now we're gonna. I want to jump to something else because you quickly jumped over to the anthem.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the anthem.
Yeah.
You were talking about how the words in the anthem speaks about racism, right? And how black people should stand up. And I agree with you 100% on that. I mean, what black man would not agree with you unless he's a silly one, right? Now check this here out. We suppose that they talk about slavery, and you brought up the 14th Amendment about the servitude. If you are caught doing a crime, we can put you in jail and work you as a slave, correct?
Yes, go ahead.
Is that what you said?
I talked about, yes, the provision that allowed for people to be in involuntary servitude if they were incarcerated for a felony. Yeah.
No. And we should stand up against that now, shouldn't we? And we should march against that. We should stand up. Is that what you said?
What I said was, and if you go back and listen, I talked about how what we're seeing today mirrors what was done back in the day, and how that initial effort to create a pathway for black people to be reincarcerated continues to impact us today. I didn't say we need to stand up and fight it, although I've talked before about the fact that legislation has been introduced to try to get rid of that provision, particularly here in the Wisconsin Constitution, that just because you go to jail does not mean you somebody's slave.
I understand that. And I remember Lena standing up for that, trying to push. That's why, she was really needed in that position up there. I don't know what they're doing now. But anyway, check this out. Now, you said that it was put into place. Well, why would I support that particular legislation if I knew that that's what it was, if it was incarceration, putting me back in slavery? Would I support? Do you support that?
No, Meech, I don't.
Okay, I want you to understand something then. Joe Biden, this is where you finna get mad and hang up. Joe Biden in 1985 walked the floor all night long to get the Crime Act passed of 1985. Okay, that's when the laws changed. About 87 went into effect when Bush come in to change the federal sentencing guidelines. Okay, now check this out. In 19, that was pushed to us. He said you guys gonna bust those SOBs are gonna bust your grandmothers in the head. Now this law was put in place. The Crime Act of 1985 was put in place when the crack era was just beginning to boom. 1994, he pushed with Bill Clinton to get the crime bill signed. Okay, and that was to incarcerate.
Meech, what's your point? What's your point, bro? What is your point?
See, I knew you wasn't going to.
Because I'm just trying to figure out what's your point. Because I'm talking about today, and I'm talking about right now. What's your point?
We're talking about that 14th Amendment that you brought up that has hurt so many people. And guess
what is your point, Meech?
My point is that it's still working today. It has not been repealed.
Well, let me tell you this. If you're going to talk about one part of it, talk about all of it. If you're going to talk, because don't act like Republicans don't have a hand in the incarceration rate of black people in this country. So please don't call it here talking to me about Biden. I'm talking about all of it.
No. We're talking about the 14th Amendment.
No, I'm not specifically talking about the 14th Amendment. I use it as an example. Don't make that my whole conversation, because that's not my whole conversation. I'm talking about something that's happening today, immediately, right now. I don't need to go back down history and a stroll. I'm talking about right now. So do you have a comment that helps me right now?
Yes, I do. I do. Don't commit the crime. Now check this out.
By me, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. Don't commit the crime. That's your comment. Meech, I appreciate it. I done gave you a whole bunch of time, bro. I gotta go.
Cut me off.
I gotta go, fam. You ain't had nothing.
Let me say this right quick.
Go ahead.
Today is still work. Today that is still working. They're still locking black.
But we are not talking about that. Don't turn the conversation into that one focus. I put a whole bunch of stuff on the table. The NFL. I put the Star Spangled Banner. I put the 40,000 people that's about to lose their jobs. You want to relitigate something that was done in 1985. I'm not here for that.
Ma'am, I addressed what you said from the buyout up until the 14th Amendment.
Okay, thank you, Meech.
And it's working today. It has not been
And what have the candidates that you have supported, Donald Trump, Ron Johnson, all the rest of your people, what have they done to help Meech?
Well, you look at you now. You finna take me into that when that's old news.
No, okay. Well, I gotta go. I gotta go, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. I gotta go.
Wait, hold on.
I gotta go.
Wait. No, I wasn't gonna say nothing. But he said, but now that's old news. You just went back almost 30 years ago. Talking about what Joe Biden did.
85. You went back 40 years ago. Like, I mean, I'm just saying. First of all, see, because what happens is, a hit dog, a holler. Old folks in the community, they know exactly what I'm saying. A hit dog will holler. See, for some of these black folks who have encouraged people to vote for the Republicans and get on the Trump train, get you a ticket and get on board, get you some of this economic prosperity. It's going to work for the good. Stop worrying about that other stuff, Shell, and get on the Trump train. Get you one of these Trump t-shirts. For those people, see, some of this is a little bit hard to watch because you told people this man is the one who going to turn things around. But you got 40,000 people who've been pushed out of employment, and they were asking as many as 2 million people to leave the federal government voluntarily. So economically, I don't know what that feels like when 2 million people who are in good paying jobs, in many cases, 6-figure jobs, get pushed out of the economy. And I don't know where they get absorbed or brought into the fold, what companies they take those skills for that they have acquired over the years and go and work for. I don't know. I don't know how many kids have to come out of college because mom and dad can't pay for you to stay in college, and Donald Trump and his people trying to mess with Pell Grants. And if a lawsuit had been filed and the judicial system had not intervened, there would be kids standing here right now unable to get their federal financial aid to be able to pay for college this semester. So you couple, I'm going to mess with your financial aid. I'm going to mess with your parents' income. I'm going to mess with, all these other things. See, it's hard for y'all to swallow that y'all told people, get behind this dude. And he literally blowing the country up in front of our very eyes. None of the moves that he are making is economically making our country better.
So, what I realized too is a lot of people that voted for this guy and was saying he was going to do this is doing that, is having a hard time admitting that they were wrong and that they made a bad decision. So they want to kind of
I gotta
Stand on-
deflect.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
you
double
want-
down on
yeah.
stupid.
Y'all know they were never, and this is the sad part, you know, considering the choices, they would have rather voted for this guy than to vote for Harris.
See, but
period.
the problem is,
Black woman,
Right.
one woman, second
Right.
black.
right? But the problem is now, Depot, is now that they seeing that by them voting for this guy, that it's really affecting them and their family. So now it's almost like, well, maybe I should have voted for the woman.
Yeah, because all these prisoners you advocating for, if this man has his way and is able to ship these folks over to El Salvador, I said yesterday, the bulk of the people that get shipped up out of this country is going to be black incarcerated people. It's going to be black men that get shipped up out of here. And people who had at least the ability to visit a family member that's incarcerated, that will be gone.
And they're going to get lost in the system. Because if you send
Nobody's
them to
going to
El
care what
Salvador,
happened
who's
to you
gonna-
over there.
you ain't gonna be able
Nobody's
to
going to
find
be
them.
checking for you.
Yeah, you ain't even gonna be
These
able to contact.
Republicans and the people that's running this government are not going to check for American prisoners to make sure we're being treated respectfully.
Especially
So I have
if
a
you-
Donald
question.
Trump already said, bang their head upside the police car, even when you're taking them in for the initial arrest.
I have a question for you, Michelle.
Yes.
I heard somewhere in the news yesterday of articles of impeachment that were put together, and were they submitted, and how successful could they be? Because I think there may be enough Republicans that
No, stop it. Just stop.
it's just a question.
Because it's all nonsense. Trump controls the Senate. He controls Congress. I mean, he controls Congress. He controls the House. He controls the Senate. He controls the Supreme Court. Who is impeaching him?
You don't think
These
there's enough
people don't
Republicans-
have-
So you say all those Republicans are riding with him?
All those Republicans just rolled to put a completely unqualified individual over the Department of Defense. All those Republicans, except for 3, rolled to put Kennedy
Mhm.
over, the America's health system and our well-being. They're gonna put Tulsi Gabbard in. They have basically, other than what's his name, who the original AG was,
Right,
nominee.
that they wouldn't let in.
And that was because they personally hated him, because he was a jackass to them personally.
Mm.
They couldn't stand him personally. But these people have demonstrated.
But Donald put him up there and asked them to support him.
But this was one time they didn't, and Trump knew. He didn't raise no whole bunch of hell when they didn't move that nominee. I can't think of that man's name. They didn't move that nominee forward. Did he raise a whole bunch of hell? Did he say there'll be hell to pay? I'm gonna get y'all. He didn't, because he knew dude was trifling anyway when he put him up there. You messing with little girls and all this foolishness. He knew he was trifling. But you got these same Republicans who are now telling people that January 6th was not a big deal. These same Republicans, for the most part, who have co-signed on people who were some of the most violent people that day being pardoned, and it's all good in the neighborhood. Republicans who are saying, yeah, I agree with Trump. We should send American citizens to freaking El Salvador to be incarcerated in their correctional facility, which we know our own State Department said is inhumane. So what impeachment?
Wow.
What impeachment?
Wow.
All of that, we tell people you got to understand the difference between a messaging bill and a real piece of legislation. That's messaging. That what this dude is doing is morally reprehensible, blah, blah, blah. The people who wrote it, the lawyers who drafted it, they all know this mess ain't going nowhere. But it gives you an opportunity to do what we're doing right now, which is to talk about the behavior that people find reprehensible. It's a messaging bill. It's not a real piece of legislation. And right now, Matt Gaetz, thank you. All y'all telling me. I wasn't looking at my phone. Thank y'all. No. And right now, that's what most Democrats will be doing, because most Democrats don't have a shot in the world of getting their bills through. So they will put out a number of bills that are just messaging bills. You already know when you sat down and told a drafter to pull it together, this bill ain't going no damn where. You most likely not even going to get a hearing in a committee. But you get to drop a press release. You get to maybe hold a press conference. You get to talk about it. You get to, bring it to people's attention. But you don't have the votes in either house to bring this even to committee to get a hearing, yet alone to get it on the floor to get a vote. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, good morning, Miss Bryant.
Good
This
morning.
is Angela.
Good morning. Good morning.
So, I don't, when I go to the Bucks games, I don't stand up for the national anthem because that ain't what I'm down with, and I don't shop. I did shop at Target until I heard about what was over the radio yesterday. I will no longer shop there. They won't get a dime of my money ever. And don't let that Negro, as you say, me, don't let him up get the blood pressure up. Keep talking out the side of his neck.
All right. Thank
Y'all
you,
have
Angela.
a good morning.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Appreciate it. And appreciate the support for the boycott. But I'm gonna tell people like, Target is just the tip of the iceberg. It's so many ways that we could have, got in the game that and I'm looking at a lot of the major national organizations that have local chapters. Like, what are people saying? Like, what y'all doing? What y'all saying? NAACP, where y'all at on some of these conversations, man? There are critical organizations. Divine Nine, y'all gonna have to say something. Deltas, AKAs, Alphas, Qs, y'all gonna have to say something. Because see, people run from that. They run from being political. This is called being civically engaged. You can't just work at a polling location or register people to vote. You're going to have to do the hard stuff too. You're going to have to say the uncomfortable. You're going to have to call some people out on their BS. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Hello, Michelle. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing this morning, Dr. Myers?
I am doing well. Yes, you are absolutely correct. There's much work to be done. So it's a whole lot to do. And we have to actually step up and do that.
Speaking of work, and I know why you called me this morning, but let me take a minute. Because as I was talking about the Star Spangled Banner, and I always say the third stanza is the fourth stanza.
It's the fourth. Mm-hmm.
That has the language in it about slavery. You actually did, I don't know if it was an op-ed.
It was my article for the Courier, I think back in 2021.
Okay.
When the legislature was voted actually on mandating the playing of the Star Spangled Banner at all sporting events in the state.
So Wisconsin.
And I voted against it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So this actually came up, what was this, like 2021 or something?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so the Wisconsin state legislature wanted to take up a bill to require that the Star Spangled Banner be played at all sporting events in the state.
Mm-hmm.
And was this K-12 or collegiate? What was it?
No, it was for every sporting event.
No matter what the event was, they wanted this played.
Yes.
Do we know what was the impetus behind them moving that forward? Was that coming off the George Floyd?
Yes, it was coming off the heels of the George Floyd protests and people who were taking a knee during the Star Spangled Banner. And,
that's what I thought. I had to try to remember it all. But
as
soon as I remember it's 2021, George Floyd is 2020. So this is in response. Republicans in our state, no, you Negroes won't be showing your behind and taking no knee or not playing the Star Spangled Banner. So we're going to introduce legislation. And in your op-ed, you wrote and you gave the backstory on Francis Scott Key.
Yes, whose brother-in-law was, if I'm not mistaken, was Roger Taney. And Roger Taney was the Supreme Court justice who had the discrimination case at the Supreme Court at that time. Mm-hmm. With the Missouri Compromise and everything that was going on with Dred Scott.
So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this piece. I pulled up your piece and I pulled up another article that had been in the Washington Post that I appreciated, that talked to the whole national anthem, the issues with because this wasn't even our national anthem 400 years after the song had been written.
Right.
It was not the national anthem when it was first written. But let me pivot away for a second, because when I say we're gonna have to do some stuff, do the uncomfortable. I gotta take a break, but
Okay.
we have an opportunity to do something, to be engaged in this upcoming search for the superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
All right. So can you hang on for a second, and then we'll
Sure.
pick it up on the other side of the break. Michelle
Okay.
Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Be right back, y'all.
The passing of a loved one is emotional enough without adding the stress of funeral arrangements. By pre-planning, you receive the desires of your heart while taking away the burden from your family. It also saves you money, providing the dignity and respect your memory deserves. And there are times when life ends unexpectedly. Please know that the New Pitts Mortuary is here to lend a helping, caring hand anytime, day or night. We are the New Pitts Mortuary.
back to Say Something Real with your host, Michelle Bryant on WNOV.
All right, folks, welcome back to the show. So before I went to the break, I mentioned that former state representative, Dr. Lakeisha Myers had joined us on the line. Um, God dang it, Dr. Myers, are you still
I'm
there?
still here. Whatever you call me, I'll answer. I'm here.
um, so today there is going to be a meeting regarding the MPS superintendent candidates
Yes,
that the public should know about.
absolutely. This is the call to action. This is UGMA in action right here. Collective work and responsibility. We have complained about issues and leadership at MPS. This is our opportunity to meet the three finalists that have been presented by the board. Um, these are the community forums that are happening today. There are two of them. The first one begins at 1 o'clock, from 1 o'clock to 3:45 p.m., and the second runs from 5:30 until 8:15 p.m. at MPS Central Office Auditorium, which is 5225 West Beleach Street. So
So
asking that
go
all
ahead.
members of the community, everybody that lives in the city of Milwaukee has a stake in MPS. This is not just for parents or people that have children currently in the school district. As I said before, and I say all the time, the economic thread of education spans widely beyond just the schoolhouse doors. It goes into our county economy, our state economy. And we need to understand what the vision is of these three finalists that are presenting themselves to, one of which will become the next superintendent of schools. So I ask the public to go out and to meet at the Central Services Building either at 1 o'clock or at 5:30. I personally will be at the 5:30 meeting, but making sure that we can have the opportunity to hear from these candidates and also ask questions of the candidates. So make sure that you are there at that time. And this has been, I will give kudos to, the local media outlets, TMJ4 and Channel 12 have been advertising this throughout the week to make sure that people are aware that these community forums will be happening. Megan O'Halloran, who's a school board director, has been giving step-by-step, guidance of people about the process through Facebook and her other social media. So making sure the folks understood what the process was, that they went back and reopened the search and had, more applicants to apply. They were able to whittle that down to a certain number of applicants and then get us this final three. So she has been very transparent throughout this process, making sure that folks were aware. But today is the day that you get to, hear and see who these candidates are, and to meet and greet them, and see what their vision is for MPS.
Look, so somebody was listening and said, so why didn't Dr. Myers put her hat in the ring to be the superintendent? I'm just laughing because, our
Yes.
folks will start. They will start. First of all, let me just say this. I appreciate the fact that you continue, even though you are no longer serving as a member of the state legislature, you continue to be engaged and flagging stuff that the community needs to know and understand. You just did along with the NAACP, the forum that invited members or candidates that were running for the Department of Public Instruction. Now, in this capacity, reminding people, because this is the thing, while I had planned to mention it myself, I continue to be disappointed at elected officials who, on one hand, will jump up and down about MPS. Will,
Right.
They understand we got to get police put back in the school. We got to do this. We got budgets. We got low performance. But this is something that you should see elected officials at every level of government out, ringing the bell, doing everything that they can to make sure that our community is aware that this is happening today, that they show up for it today, and that I'm looking to see how many elected officials even show up. How many elected officials take the time to meet with these finalists and understand who these people are. So I appreciate that. And I will just take a second and say that there are 3 finalists. Dr. Brenda Callius, I'm saying her name wrong. She's the former superintendent for Boston Public Schools. Dr. Joshua Starr, former superintendent for Montgomery County Public Schools. Dr. Andre Townsell, who is the current superintendent for for Calvert County Public Schools, both out of Maryland. So we got 2 people out of Maryland that are
Yes,
actually
Montgomery
vying.
County and Calvert County schools. Calvert County, you know Patricia, my friend Patricia, that lives in Chesapeake Beach.
Yes.
That's in Calvert County, so that's where her house is.
Okay.
Just to
Okay.
give you a
I was
taste
trying
of
to
where that
figure
is.
out,
So
like, yeah, what?
surrounding Prince George's County, which is the second largest school district in Maryland. The largest school district, of course, is Baltimore City, but PG County is right after that, and Montgomery County is right after them. So when you look at the level of achievement and what's able to be done, I can tell you that the achievement levels in those areas are outstanding.
And you say
You
this
know,
because you formerly worked in the school district there.
yes, yes,
Okay. Yeah, because you worked in the Maryland school district, right? Or
yes.
Maryland
I
school
worked in
district.
Prince George's County and did contract work for Montgomery County. Yes.
Okay. So I'll make sure again that I mention this before I get off the air today. I'll put it on my Facebook page to remind people that these forums, these public sessions, 1 p.m. to 3:45 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. Both happening today at Central Office. And each finalist will have 45 minutes to introduce themselves to the public, as well as answer questions from those in attendance. So there will
So
be
you got to be in the room where it happened.
so
Okay,
to
that's
that
it.
point, So there is an opportunity for folks to ask questions of the candidates themselves. One, and if somebody wanted to know, we always ask. One candidate is a female. She looks like she may be a white female, or maybe Hispanic. It's hard to tell. One candidate is a white male. One candidate is an African American male. Somebody wanted to know. So the other thing, while I got you real quick, you are doing some additional Black History Month programming. Can you take a second and talk about that?
Sure. The Black History Month programming that I'm doing this month, now February 14th is very important. It's not just for you and your boo thing. February 14th is a day that you can do something to help someone else. Most of the people that listen to WNOV know that I had, this is my second kidney transplant that I recently had in November. I'm partnering with Versity, the Blood Center of Wisconsin, to host an annual blood drive. I've been doing the February 14th blood drive since I was a member of the legislature, and we have decided to continue that partnership. We are hosting the blood drive on February 14th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Destiny High School on 76th Street. So 7210 North 76th Street. And we are looking for individuals to come in and donate blood, because our blood banks, of course, get low throughout the year, and this is something that you can do for someone else. So get information about getting the orange dot on your license, getting information about organ donation, either in death or, even as a living donor. But the first thing you can do is to donate blood. So we're asking everyone that will consider it to donate blood on February 14th. There are spaces available. As far as I know this morning, we had 18 slots left to fill. If you go to tinyurl.com/destiny, DESTINY 214, then you can sign up to give blood. And Debo, if you're listening, I emailed you both these flyers that I'm going to talk about today. So if you could put them into the, somewhere so people who are looking on Facebook can see it, that would be great. But I also have it posted on my Facebook page and in other places as well. But February 14th is the blood drive at Destiny High School. We are asking people to come out and donate blood. And if you attempt to donate, you will receive a $5 Biggie Bag meal gift card for that from Wendy's, and a limited edition just donated trucker hat while supplies last. So you get something as well, but you're also helping out others that may need blood transfusion. When you think about diseases that prevalent in the Black community. Folks that have kidney disease, individuals that have sickle cell anemia. These are things that require them to have blood transfusions often. So we're asking people to donate blood on February 14th. And also, Michelle, on the Black History Month film series that I'm working with the Milwaukee Public Library Good Hope branch, we are showing 2 movies this year. The film series has Punch 9 for Harold Washington, which will be shown on Monday, February 17th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Good Hope Library, as well as Monday, February 24th. So the last Mondays of this month at Good Hope Library, you can join us for movies.
So, Dr. Myers, I'm up against the clock, so I got to take a break.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually see if I can get you back in on one day next week to talk about the
Okay.
events at the library. Because one of the things when I was looking into Harold Washington last night, just going back and just doing a refresher, I didn't realize that Harold Washington went to school in Milwaukee.
He went to St. Benedict de Moore. Yes.
Didn't realize that, and didn't realize that a major iconic figure in Milwaukee, Ralph Metcalf, was instrumental in Harold Washington's career. So,
Yes.
look, so we definitely will make time to do that next week. Thank you so much for calling to flag and put an additional emphasis on making sure that the public is aware that today is the day for them to meet the 3 candidates that are running for MPS superintendent, to ask questions and to hear presentations from them. And I'll make sure I mention it again before I get off the air. Thanks so much,
Thank you.
Dr. Myers.
Okay.
All right. All right,
Bye-bye.
family. Let me take a quick break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Be right back.
Something Real with your host, Michelle Bryant on WNOV.
All right, family, welcome back to the show. So let me take a quick second because we are doing our Valentine's Day giveaway, and I want to make sure that everybody understands how this plays out. So we will be taking the 8th and 9th callers, okay? And we will be taking your name and information and entering you into an opportunity to win the grand prize giveaway. That grand prize consists of 2 tickets to Mr. C.L. Woodson III's play, Bruh Man Needs Love 2, which is happening on Saturday, March 22nd. 2 tickets to the 12th annual Milwaukee Blues Fest. I need them tickets. 2 tickets to the Milwaukee Auto Show. Need those tickets. $100 gift card to Red Crab Seafood Restaurant on Lovers Lane. A 60-minute massage from Sandy Soothing Hands. Best thing in the pack. A Valentine's flower bouquet from Carter's Creation. They did my wedding. And a box of candy. So stay tuned when you hear the promo for the spot. You know, love, 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 crazy love. Okay. Debo's over here singing it. Made my ears hurt. But when you hear that, call in, be the 8th or 9th caller. You get entered into the giveaway, and the grand giveaway will be drawn on Thursday, February 13th, inside Keith Paris's show. Mr. Romantic himself. Not. So that's how this is working. I just want to make sure folks have the information and the details. All right. So today I end my show early because I got to get out of the way for you all already know. Okay, I will figure that out. And somebody said, Michelle, can you give the information again on MPS? Today is the opportunity for the public to meet the 3 candidates that are vying to be the new superintendent for Milwaukee Public Schools. 2 of the candidates are out of Maryland. 1 of the candidates is from Boston. And the 3 of them will be doing 2 sessions, one at 1 p.m. today, 1 p.m. to 3:45, the second 5:30 to 8:15 over at the Milwaukee School Board over on Valete. They will be doing a presentation about, I guess, their vision, plans, what they'd like to do if they were selected to be the superintendent. And then there will be an open portion of the program for Q&A. The other thing that I want to just say real quick, and this came out yesterday. The MPS comptroller is out after 2 weeks on the job. A key Milwaukee Public Schools financial official has left the district after only 2 weeks on the job. Multiple districts sources have told CBS 58. MPS has continued to miss deadlines for submitting required financial data to the state. And last week, the school board approved an updated corrective action plan with DPI. The new version of the plan lists Bergamorad Nespo as the district's comptroller. He was one of only 2 workers in the finance office who answered directly to the CFO. And so it looks like it is unclear why he left the district, but after 2 weeks, he is no longer in the position. Understand that whoever is coming in as a new superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools, they got a heavy lift. It's a lot to be done. Whether we talk about our NAEP scores and the awful performance of our children, specifically Black children on those tests, the financial mess, morale, vacancies, school closings, MPS has a lot on their plate. So this is a perfect time. Lakeisha just sent me something saying it's 1 p.m. Yep, I got it. Oh, in the news article on Fox News, Lakeisha, it said 5:30 for the afternoon session. So I'll double check. But okay, so I'm going to end the show there. A lot was said this morning. possibly one of the most important things that was said is that we show up for these children and making sure that they get the best possible person for this job. And that we ask questions. If you have free time, let's see if we can all fill out this room so that actual community members, parents get an opportunity to talk. There are 2 sessions. Yep, people are asking. Yes, there are 2 sessions. 1 p.m., 5:30 p.m. All right, y'all. That is a wrap. Lord have mercy so much. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace. Oh, wait. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm done.
How you gonna just say talk to
I'm done. And I didn't even say bye to y'all.
Yeah,
Thank you, Debo.
You just
Thank
flustered. You just flustered over there.
It's
right?
a lot, man. It's a lot. And I have been burning up over here.
And it's only 8:47, so I was wondering why you would,
Because the 49, come on, man. You know these schedules, man. Don't play.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying it's 8:47, so she still has 3 minutes.
She don't. What's wrong with you, man?
He'll be all right.
I'm,
Have a good one, Michelle. We'll see you Monday.
yeah, I don't print this stuff, man.
I'm so glad we had this time together.
I just push
I'm so
buttons.
glad. Who was that? Carol Burnett?
Yes, just to have a laugh or sing a song. All right,
Yeah.
y'all. Talk to y'all next week. Peace.
In a revolution, there's a war going on in here, girl.